死ね。
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're looking at anime characters too powerful for the show they're in. Number 20, Harui Suzia, The Melancholy of Harui Suzia. While they appear completely normal on the outside, the SOS Brigade is home to a time traveler, an Esper, and an alien. But why have they all gathered into this one school club? Well, at the center of it all is the eccentric Harui Suzia, who unknowingly possesses godlike abilities. This means she can alter and destroy reality at any time depending on her mood.
鈴宮さんの機嫌が治らない限り拡大し続け、例のあれも暴れ続けるということですね。
単に負けてるって理由でか。なんてデタラメな野郎だ。
This causes a whole lot of trouble for Kyon, who is constantly trying to satisfy her ridiculous everyday whims.
待てよ。
Number 19, Ran Mori, Detective Conan. You know, for a show about figuring out how a crime could be physically possible, Ran's strengths aren't exactly physically possible. Her training in the martial arts means she's more than capable of taking care of herself whenever coming face to face with criminals. But if you've seen Meitante Conan, you know that someone with a gun is often the least of their problems. Good thing Ran's usually around to perform ridiculous feats of strength. Now if only her dad was as competent as she is. Number 18, Sid Kageno, The Eminence in Shadow. Before he even got reincarnated into another world, Sid was already a bit of a weirdo, operating as a vigilante and taking down criminals.
俺はただのスタイリッシュ暴漢スレイヤーだ。
This experience came in handy big time after he got reincarnated into another world thanks to good old reliable Truck-kun. Due to his intense training since he was a toddler, Sid's swordsmanship and magical abilities are unmatched. He often deals with the most powerful looking enemies in the most nonchalant way possible, defeating them with ease.
授業で習わなかったのかな?
And let's not forget the guy can literally turn himself into a nuke and emerge unscathed. Number 17, Zeno, Dragon Ball Super. In a franchise where its power scales increase with every arc, it's particularly funny that Super introduced a character so powerful, it's unlikely that any character will ever match them.
All of existence, go away!
Grand Zeno is the supreme ruler of the multiverses in Dragon Ball and can end an entire universe on a whim.
Bye-bye!
This means some of the most powerful fighters in existence, such as the gods of destruction, cower before him. Despite his childlike nature, the lives of billions are just a game to this little guy. Number 16, Sukuna, Jujutsu Kaisen. There's a reason why he's known as the King of Curses. Over 1,000 years old, the Jujutsu sorcerer turned curse makes his grand return to modern-day Japan after Yuji consumes one of his fingers. Sukuna possesses such incredible power that he was pretty much easily able to wipe out Shibuya from the map without realizing it. Even in a weakened state while possessing Yuji, other villains cower before him, knowing one wrong move could end their lives instantly. Despite all of the feats he's displayed so far, anime viewers haven't even begun to see what he's capable of. Number 15, Yokiri Takato. My instant death ability is so overpowered. An isekai protagonist with insane abilities is one of the most overdone tropes in anime. However, this one takes the cake. After being transported to another world, Yokiri gains the ability to instantly kill anyone and anything he likes with just a single thought. Think Death Note without the need to write down anyone's name into a book, or the Death Note itself for that matter. Of course, though he doesn't need to, Yokiri can't help but shout "Die" to whoever is unfortunate enough to be on the receiving end of it. Number 14, Tobias. Pokemon. Remember back in the day when you were Pokemon battling with your friends, and there was always that one kid who used nothing but legendaries and Ubers? Well, Tobias is that annoying kid personified. Ash Ketchum was showing real promise in the Lily of the Valley conference, making it all the way to the top 4. Unfortunately for him, the writers needed a quick and easy way for him to get knocked out, so they introduced Tobias, who used a Darkrai and Latios of all things.
Latios, use Giga Impact!
After defeating Ash and going on to win the entire tournament, he disappeared into the night, never to be seen again. Let's be real, if he had turned up to the World Coronation Series, there's a good chance Ash wouldn't be holding that trophy up right now.
Ash, that was a good battle. I thank you.
Number 13, How Asakura, Shaman King. Sometimes a character is so overpowered that the entire plot falls apart. That was the case with Hao in this shonen classic. Reincarnated multiple times before the start of the series, Hao's main objective in his third life is to become the Shaman King and exterminate all of humanity. And he succeeds in doing that. Well, partially. After the protagonists fail to defeat him, they give up and convince him to temporarily put off his genocide. Usually, a villain like this is created for the heroes to eventually overcome, but in this case, Hao is just way too much for anyone to handle. Number 12, Honey, Ouran High School Host Club. If you took one look at this little fella, you'd think that butter wouldn't melt in his mouth. Well, looks can be deceiving. Outside of his activities as the host club's resident cutie, Honey spends most of his time training in martial arts. But surely such a little guy couldn't use said talents to take out a unit of armed guards, right? Oh, Ouran might be outlandish at times, but Honey's strength is just too staggering. Just make sure you never steal his cake or mess with his favorite plushie.
I'm still sleepy.
Number 11, Anos Voldigode, the Misfit of Demon King Academy. The title of this series is quite apt, as Anos certainly doesn't fit in this academy. Once known as the Demon King of Tyranny, Anos is reincarnated 2,000 years later to human parents, and soon enrolls into Demon King Academy without anyone knowing his true identity.
まがいものだ。そもそも俺とお前が同じ立場で争うことが間違っている。
Here, he finds out that magic has waned drastically over the years, and that no one can compete with his incredible powers.
うまく受け身を取れ。
Because of this, he's often the target of both students and teachers alike, but he confidently brushes them off like they're nothing to him, defeating them in weird and creative ways. Number 10, Tatsuma Ushiyama, Golden Kamui. Don't let the block on his head fool you. This guy is a beast, even in a series that features the most vicious of criminals, giant wolves, and a guy called Sugimoto the Immortal. Out of all the Abashiri convicts, this is definitely the one you'd want to stay clear of, since he can box bears with ease, never gives up the chase, relishes in a good beatdown, and has an unbridled lust for women. There's truly nothing subtle about Ushiyama, so it's kind of a shock he hasn't managed to grab all the Ainu gold for himself and set himself up a nice little settlement of his own, complete with harems and death matches galore. Number 9, Shizuo Heiwajima, Durarara. First things first, this guy should have been the title character. You all know it's true. Shizuo may have been slightly lacking when it came to forward thinking, but as for pure style and raw strength, this dude was top tier. Basically, a walking hurricane, watching him beat down thugs and other unfortunates was always entertaining. But let's be honest, even in a series with headless reapers and psychotic information brokers, Shizuo was always in a class of his own. Izaya may have been able to outwit him, but there was no one who could ever hope to match his punching power. Number 8, Torkel, Vinland Saga. The fact Thorfinn managed to survive his encounter with this monstrous Viking is a miracle unto itself. The Danish forces may not be lacking for ferocity and savage skills with an axe, but Toal The Tall is practically mythological as far as strength goes. With a happy-go-lucky attitude and an incessant eagerness to throw himself into the next fight, every battle is a playground for this guy, one he always leaves littered with body parts. Seriously, when he's not cleaving through trees like a demonic lumberjack, he's turning enemy soldiers into mulch. Number 7, Meruem, Hunter x Hunter. This guy was so ridiculous that the author Togashi was forced to put an end to him in an underhanded way via poison. That being said, everything leading up to his passing cemented him as a killing machine of such high caliber that even at full force, we're still not sure if Gon would have been able to tango with him and live. He was able to brush off practically everything that Netero threw at him, and considering the fact that it was Netero doing the throwing, that speaks volumes. Anyone who can casually withstand something like the Zero Hand is fighting well below his station. Number 6, Macho Nuso. How heavy are the dumbbells you lift?
はじめまして、シルバーマンジムのトレーナーのマチオです。わからないことがあったら何でも聞いてくださいね。
He's the sportive trainer who's easy on the eyes and all too eager to help this year's waifus get themselves into better shape. Sounds like he fits perfectly into the formula, right? Well, as it happens, beneath that tracksuit lurks so many muscles that it defies comprehension. We wouldn't mind so much if not for the fact this is a series that portrays realistic ways for viewers to get healthier and exercise safely. Hard to focus on said lessons when Machio's outrageous pecs are filling up the screen. Just look at those things. Number 5, Chuya Nakahara, Bungo Stray Dogs. That's right, even in a series where one guy can transform into a tiger hybrid and another has a demon living in his edgelord jacket, Port Mafia's favourite pretty boy still stands above them all as the strongest of the bunch, all thanks to his ability to manipulate gravity, coupled with the fact he's got an inbuilt rage mode that truly pushes him towards the boundaries of OP. If not for his own desires to work as an enforcer of Ogi's will, the man formerly known as the God of Fire could have easily crushed the entire city under his boots ages ago. He knocked out Cthulhu for God's sake. Number 4, Tsukasa Shishio, Dr. Stone. Don't get us wrong, we love a guy who can punch the hell out of lions as much as the next person, but in a series where science and all of its facets are the central focus, having someone with inhuman strength is just a tad on the fantastical side, wouldn't you say? Of course, Tsukasa and Senku's clash is the embodiment of brawn against brain, an ideology war over the concept of might makes right, and as such comes across as a truly compelling premise. Still, the guy woke up after being turned to stone for several millennia and was instinctively able to take down a pack of lions. He's one step away from being a JoJo character. Number 3, Yujiro Hanma, Baki the Grappler. When everyone around you has muscles for days and enough martial arts prowess to reduce people's bones to powder, it takes a special kind of monster to stand above the rest.
Affection is as mercurial as time itself. It's for the weak. It destroys you.
Then you've got Yujiro, a man so dangerous that he's practically a nuclear deterrent. A man who can easily kill you with a hug. A man who once stopped an earthquake just by punching the ground. Yeah, he did that. He's beyond the pale of human ability, capable of crushing any man, weapon or beast that comes his way. We're still debating if he's like pot sane or something.
What man can push back 100 people?
Number 2, Panakot Fugo, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Golden Wind. Oh, Araki, you really got yourself into a bind with this, didn't you? Whatever was envisioned for this member of Bucciarati's crew didn't end up amounting to much, since he was introduced with a stand that up until the reveal of Gold Experience Requiem was one of the deadliest psychic projections to ever hop out of an angry Italian psyche. Purple Haze's smog reduced anyone it touched to bubbling ooze, friend, foe, and user alike. Something so uncontrollable equipped with an insta-kill smoke machine hidden in its knuckle turned out to be something of a narrative wrench in the works. Thus it, along with Fugo, were dropped at the halfway point. Arrivederci.
僕はこんな馬鹿げた裏切りに乗れない。正しい馬鹿にはなれない。
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure to go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, Saitama, One Punch Man. While his overwhelming strength is tied to the core of the series, it's pretty much common knowledge by this point that Saitama is undefeatable. With but a single blow, he can crush galactic tyrants, supervillains, and even demon centipedes spawned from your worst nightmares. It certainly makes for good commentary and entertaining viewing, but it's clear that unless Blast turns out to be just as strong as they claim, no one is even going to come close to measuring up to the world's strongest caped Baldy.
マジ殴り
Are there any powerful anime characters we missed out on? Let us know in those comments below. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.